Hey guys, what's up? Today's video is going to be my Boxing Day haul. So not only do I have my book outlet box to unbox for you guys, I also have a plethora of other books to haul because these are books that I got after Christmas. And it's only January 3rd, 5th, it's the 5th. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and haul the books that I have gotten, that I have already opened. Some of these I got the day after Christmas when Denny and I went to Books A Million. Some of these I ordered online from Books A Million. A couple of these I got from Sam's Club. Some of them I got from the used bookstore. And a couple of them I got before Christmas. I just forgot to haul them. So I'm going to start with the books that I got before Christmas that I forgot to haul and forgot to mention. And the first one is The Other Typist by Susan Rendell. This book sounds really interesting. I don't really know too much of what it's about. The synopsis is Confessions of Rose Barker's Job, a typist in New York City Police Department. She sits in judgment like a high priestess. Criminals come before her to admit their transgressions, and with a few strokes of the keys before her, she seals their fate. So that's just kind of a little bit of the synopsis. It sounds like a really interesting book. It was only like $2, so I bought it. And the other thing that I have to show you that I got before Christmas, the box set of A Song of Ice and Fire, also known as the Game of Thrones series. Very excited about these. I cannot wait to start this series. I've been wanting to read them for a while, and I'm so glad that I finally have the books myself. The next books that I'm going to show you I got from Books A Million online. I got these a few days ago, so I've already unboxed them. And the first is Whatever Happened to Janie by Carolyn B. Cooney. This is the sequel of The Face on the Milk Carton. The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. This is the sequel to The Fifth Wave, which is over here, and I have not read it yet. So now I have both of the books so I can just marathon them. Super excited to pick these up this year. The third book I got from Books A Million online is Cress, the third book of the Luna Chronicles series. The next three books I got from Sam's Club. The Kill Room by Jeffrey Deaver. I've been seeing this book in the bookstore for quite a while and it seems really interesting, and I immediately picked it up because The Kill Room reminds me of Dexter, so I picked it up, I read the synopsis, and it sounds really interesting. I buy the book, I get it home, I check it out on Goodreads. This is book 10 of the series. I have just committed myself to read at least 10 books of this series. I highly doubt I'm going to buy the rest of the series, but I will definitely check them out from the library so that way I can read this one. I don't know if this is the kind of series that you can skip around in and it would be okay to just go ahead and read this by itself, but I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of stuff that I don't really understand without having read the books previous to it. So I'll just pick up the first 9 from the library probably, or keep an eye out at my local used bookstore, see if they have them, because I wasn't anticipating this being a series, even though now that I'm looking at the cover, it clearly says a Lincoln Rhyme novel. The second book that I got from Sam's Club is The Kill Order by James Dashner. I got this because it's the only book that I don't have of the Maze Runner trilogy. It is also the only book of the Maze Runner series, rather, that I have yet to read. I haven't heard great things about this, but I'm gonna give it a shot. You know, hopefully it's better than what I've been hearing, and hopefully I'll get to it soon. And the last book that I got from Sam's Club, Still Alice by Lisa Genova. I'm super excited for this book. It is about a cognitive psychology teacher who starts having early signs of dementia and Alzheimer's, and it basically goes through her life and how she's still the person that she is. I can't wait to read this book. Kind of sucks that it's the movie cover. I really don't like movie covers, and what really sucks is Danny and I went to our used bookstore like not even 2 days after I bought this, and they had a copy of the non-movie cover that he ended up grabbing, but you know, I don't mind this movie cover. I like her as an actress, and it's not that bad of a movie cover, and it's still the same book, so it works. I'm pretty excited to read this. The next 5 books I got from the used bookstore, and the first is The Hanging Tree by Brian Grewley. Now this is the sequel of a series. I looked for the first book in the series, but the used bookstore didn't have it. They just had this one. So this is another one where I'll probably pick up the first one from the library because I don't know if I'm going to like it enough to actually want to own them. I got this because it was at the used bookstore, and books at our used bookstore are really cheap and it just looks really interesting. I also got Look Again by Lisa Scotland. It is about a mom who has an adopted son and she gets a missing child poster in the mail, which she almost threw away, but then it kind of caught her attention that the boy looks like her son Will. And it basically goes through how she's now questioning whether or not her adoption was actually legit. It sounded really interesting. It has decent ratings on Goodreads, so I picked it up and it'll be interesting to read. The next book I got is The Hours by Michael Cunningham, and I don't really know too much about this book, and obviously this is the movie cover, and not even gonna lie, I bought this book because Meryl Streep is on the cover, so if Meryl Streep was in the movie, it was probably a good movie and probably a good story, and I've heard that it was a good book from those that I've talked to, telling them that I bought it, who have read it, so we'll see what happens with it. I'm hoping I like it. Again, I really don't know what this is about. And the last two books that I bought from the used bookstore are the first two books of a series, and it seems like it might be kind of a cheesy series, but I don't know. The spine stood out to me, and it just sounded interesting, so I got them, and that is Dead End Dating and Dead End Dateless, both by Kimberly Rae. So basically, these books are kind of fantasy contemporary novels, from what I can tell. They're kind of cheesy romance, cheesy contemporary novels surrounding a vampire. I don't know, like I said, they just kind of seemed kind of cute and cheesy and vampire-y and contemporary, and I picked them up because I thought I'd give them a shot, and the covers are just cute and just really bright, so there's really no thought behind buying these. I just kind of bought them. And final, the Book Outlet unboxing. So let's start. Don't cut the books. Yay. Alright, I'm putting the box down because it's heavy and there's like 8 books in here. It's so tiny. Alright, the first book that I got from Book Outlet, which now I kind of wish I would have gotten the bigger book, but oh well, is Bro on the Go by Barney Stinson and with Matt Kuhn, so obviously Matt Kuhn wrote this, but I got this book because I thought it was hilarious that they actually made a bro handbook from How I Met Your Mother. I love How I Met Your Mother, and Barney was probably my favorite character, so it was Book Outlet, and it was super cheap, and it was the Boxing Day sale, so it was even cheaper, so I got it. There's no other explanation than I love How I Met Your Mother. Again, this is the Bro on the Go edition, so it's tiny and compact, so you can take it with you. Yeah. Let's get these out of here. I can grab my books easier. So the next book I got is Scarlet, the second book in the Lunar Chronicles series. If you remember earlier in this video, I hauled Cress. So I now have the entire Lunar Chronicles series that is out, so I can binge read this entire series. Unfortunately, Book Outlet only had the paperback in Scarlet, so I have the paperback in Scarlet and the hardback in the other two, and it's gonna bug me, but oh well. I wanted Scarlet for cheap, not 12 bucks, so I got it. So the next book in this box is a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be, and that is John Dies at the End by David Wong. I'm so excited for this book. Like, it sounds hilarious, and this is the movie cover, but I'm kind of okay with this movie cover, because one, it has Paul Giamatti on it, and two, it looks cool, so I think I'm okay with it. I don't know too much of what this is about, but I'm just going to read some of the synopsis for you, because it's what grabbed my attention. So the top of the back of the book, stop. You should not have touched this book with your bare hands. No, put it down, it's too late, they're watching you. It's just, I don't know, it's a humor horror book, and it is a movie on Netflix. I've started watching the movie, but when I knew that I was going to buy the book and have the book sent to me, I stopped watching the movie because I would rather watch the movie after I read the book. And to go along with that book, I also got This Book is Full of Spiders. Again, this is kind of a humor horror novel, again by David Wong, and the back of this book, the very, after you get past the blurbs on it, it says, warning, you may have a huge invisible spider living in your skull. This is not a metaphor. these books look hilarious. So that's why I got them. I also got The Face on the Milk Carton by Caroline B. Cooney. Again, if you remember earlier in this video, I have the second book to this. So I have seen this movie. It is a Lifetime movie, and I love this Lifetime movie. I did not know it was a book. Had I known it was a book, I probably would have picked it up sooner. So I now have the first 2 books in this series. I think there's like 4 or 5 in this series. I don't know. But if I enjoy these 2, I'll probably keep a lookout for the rest of the series. But I'm super excited to read this because, like I said, I loved this movie. And I also got The Gemini Virus by Will Mara, and this book, it first kind of stuck out to me because I am a Gemini. So I was like, I wonder what this is about. And it's basically kind of patient zero, you know, thought that he had a cold and goes out and infects a bunch of people, and they're trying to contain the virus. I don't really know too much about this book other than I read the synopsis on Book Outlet and I enjoyed it, so I just went ahead and got it because it was Book Outlet and it was cheap. And it sounds like a really good book, basically about some guy that is, you know, super sick and ends up going out and infecting, you know, hundreds of people without even realizing it. I mean, even it says on the cover, first you sneeze, then you die, so it sounds really good. The next book I got is Cracked by K.M. Walton. This book is basically about 2 boys who end up meeting in, I believe, a mental hospital, or they wake up in the hospital. Basically, they're in the psych ward and they have different things that are wrong with them and different things that have gone on, and from what I can tell, they end up becoming friends or something. It sounded really interesting, and I am a psych major, so anything psych related is interesting to me, so that is why I picked this one up. And the last book that I got from Book Outlet is Vicious by V.E. Schwab, aka Victoria Schwab. I can't wait to read this book. It has kind of exploded all over BookTube recently, and it is the only reason I picked this up, because it is being talked about on BookTube, and I'm super excited to read it. It sounds like a really good book, so we'll kind of see when I get into this and what happens. So overall, this was a huge haul. Thank you, Book Outlet, for your Boxing Day sale, and lots of books. Overall, I have 21 books, 25 if you count each individual A Song of Ice and Fire books. That's a lot of books for this haul. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to up my book buying ban to 20 books unless something comes out that I really want, because there are a few paperbacks coming out soon that I know for a fact I'm going to buy, and I know that I want those. So I probably will at least get those. But as far as like buying books to get, like, I don't know. I am at least going to read 10 books off of my TBR before I buy another book, and I already have 1 book down, and that was The Death Cure by James Dashner, and I am currently reading Ready Player One, so keep an eye out for those videos. I think I'm going to do a video over the Maze Runner trilogy as a whole, so keep an eye out for that to come probably next week. That's really all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, links to everything in the description below. I may or may not link Goodreads pages to these books. I probably won't because there's a ton of them. If you guys have read any of these books or are interested in any of these books, let me know in the comments. I'd love to talk with you about them. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!